Yeah, what's good? What's good? It's your boy Orison, and remember I just released how this rap do, and I made a small video, like a exhibition video, showcasing how the track kind of came through, and now I'm posting a more in-depth video detailing the track a little further because I feel like the track is metaphorical or metaphoric, and it has layers and it needs us to digest it. Hey, how you doing? I go by the name Orison. Orison is a name that means prayer, and I picked that name because I feel like, as a conscious cat, I want to give you something in a song every time, which when you get something, it's almost like a prayer that's been answered, right? So today we're gonna talk about my single that's out now called How This Rap Do. Yeah, let's get right to it. So how the track came about is from the piano. You hear that piano in the beginning, to me it sounded like an ice cream truck kind of tune. So that's where the line "I'm flavored to be favored, known across neighbors," that's where it comes from, because everybody knows that track and everybody loves ice cream. But as soon as that started, the second line from the conscious cat in me kicked in. I was like, bro, we're not about to rap about ice cream on this track. 3 verses and a hook about ice cream. Let's give the people something. And then the other lines came through. I'm the bitterness in earbuds, enough to change behaviors. I'm the inner voice, often ignored but always spot on. Promise and delivery like missionary raw dog. Now missionary is like a position that is responsible, probably 80% responsible for us being here, right? So yeah, that's that line right there.
So watch your chest, youngin', guard your chest, youngin'. For inside it there resides your own treasure, youngin'. And I'm not talking about the golds and the diamonds, I'm talking about the heart, the channel for life's recital. So
I'm comparing, or I'm likening your chest to a treasure chest, in that a treasure chest inside has diamonds, pearls, gold, riches, right? And your chest also houses something of wealth, and that's your heart, because your heart has all these gifts and all these talents that you need to share and to make the world a better place with that. Your talent is not just for you to just sing in the shower or rap to your friends or just in a cipher. You gotta take it out to the world, and you touch people that way, and that's just how life is. So that the whole crux of the song is based on these 4 bars. That's why they were introduced kind of early on in the track.
what's in your title and what's in your intro? I'm coming back better, like returning with a signal.
So since your heart is a channel for life's recitals, as in a sense it's a book. So what's the book about? What's in your title and what's in your intro? And since I know about these gifts, I came back better. When you've been a 9-to-5er and you get sick, right? You have to go to the doctor and get a sick note, a doctor's note. We call it a sick note. And then when you come back to work and you present that sick note, that means you're healed because you're now back at work. I'm coming back better, like returning with a sick note. And then I saw the herbalist beyond the holy firmament. He gave me remedies to certify the truth is permanent. This one is coming from a quote, is inspired by a quote I came across. The quote said, I went looking for God, I did not find him. I went looking for self, I found God. You know what I mean? So in realizing that in the chest, we got in the heart, we got so much to give, so much to offer the world, and everyone has something. You know, if you haven't found it, don't worry, it's coming. Everybody has something. So in realizing that, it unlocks so much in you, and you start to realize how dope of a creation you are, and then therefore how dope the entity that created you could possibly be. You know what I mean? So I saw the herbalist beyond the holy firmament, that's God. He gave you remedies to certify the truth is permanent. You know what I mean? The remedy is realizing inside who and what you are.
I'm here to heal ya and pull you out your temperamental. You keep it long enough, you realize it could be fatal. I'm here to turn the tables, show you how this rap do. I guide you every step and I provide the mind maps too. I heal ya from the marrow to the cerebral. Burn the your thoughts before they turn to something lethal. I'm here to turn the tables, show you how this rap do. I guide you every step and I provide the mind maps too.
In us realizing our gifts and our talents and how truly dope each of us really is. No one is built better than anyone. You know, you're throwing away the old mentality that some people can achieve certain things and I just can't. You know, we all know success stories of people who come from nothing, who come from below nothing, and are really successful today. So, you know, it's that mindset that only certain people can do this or I can't do this. We're throwing that away because it's toxic and it can fuck shit up. And now let's talk about we're moving on to the second verse. Second verse, first line. The first time I started rapping, the balance between my yin and yang kinda happened. Where every bar could pull my spirit out of famine. Now I spit them like a mantra and I heal you when there's fashion. So when I started rapping and I got into it deeper and deeper, I started to get like a lens with which I could view the world. And a lot of rappers are like that. You know, a lot of people who are listening to hip-hop are rappers. They view the world in a certain way because we're from an era where, you know, the KRS-One era, De La Soul era, Slum Village. So these guys, they educated you in a song, and when you're educated and you act on your education, that means you become a different person. So me being involved in rapping and listening to hip hop, like Mortal Technique and stuff, I started to view the world in a different way and in a wiser way, I would say. Credit to those guys. And I started to live life in a different way and also view things in a way similar to them. You know what I mean? And point them out in a song. So credit to the guys. And then the line that follows is
Dr. Sabi's signature, free your mental prisoner, miniature, Richter scale, Richter in particular.
Dr. Sabi is one of the greatest healers of our time. He's quoted as saying that he cured cancer and HIV. You know what I mean? Everybody's talking now about plant-based. He's the guy who really coined that in. When you realize that you're almost like you're a god, bro. You're Superman. All of us are, you know. Once you realize that, then you become a force. And I used an earthquake as reference via a Richter scale. You become a force, you shake the world, you quake the world. And an earthquake is measured with the Richter scale, right? The next line seems to be everybody's favorite. Consciousness is now a slow move, but I could put my money where my mouth is like a go-to. Put your money where your mouth is for me is the word, bro. Everything in the world comes from, you know, the word. You can speak stuff into existence. I'm spitting jewels because nowadays this rap is in recession. I'm from that era where cats were conscious. We're talking about my way to proverb. Stogie T still is. Talib Kweli, Mos Def, Immortal Technique, Non-Fiction, De La Soul, Slum Village, The Roots. You know, those are people you listen to, man, and you're like, whoa. The Logic, you know, you listen to these people and you're like, don't know the dead prayers, So I'm from that era, and I feel like that kind of hip hop is not as dense as it used to be now. Now we more on celebrating and flashing. I feel like the spitting of the real knowledge consciousness is lacking, and we're not speaking wiser, so we're not getting them jewels.
Better than to rap about the shadow. Speak about the man and teach his bones to love the marrow. To never walk among the crowd and always trust the railroad. Cause ignorance is costly, especially since the bad.
So I won't speak about the shadow. I will speak about the man himself. And not only that, I will speak about the inside of the man. You know what I mean? And teach the man to love. This verse is pretty much about looking within and loving that. You know what I mean? This line was inspired by one of the questions that one disciple asked Jesus. Very dope question. He said, what's the greatest commandment? And Jesus said, love and revere God with all that you are, and love each other. Love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. But you see, the second one, there's a third one just underneath. You see, it's a prerequisite to love yourself first before you can love another. You understand? And what will happen is when you love yourself, like I said, you'll start to understand the force that created you. You'll start to understand God himself, and you'll start to love other things, other creatures. You start to see beauty that's always surrounding us, we just saw in the background. So yeah, it's a prerequisite to love yourself before you can love someone else. That's why that line, I know better than to rap about the shadow. I speak about the man and teach his bones to love the marrow. I hope you like the track, and I hope I made some sense to it. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you getting this far in the video. And yeah, man, more still to come. There's still an entire EP coming in my nature, 8 or 9 tracks. So yeah, conscious, dope beats. So, not to toot on my own horn, but if you don't blow your own horn, you won't hear any music.